Roboteers, stand by. 3.
Fight, I say! Fight for my affection!
Cease.
I got bread all over the place. Microwave wins! Robot Wars, first broadcast on BBC Two from 20th February 1998 to the 23rd of February 2001, was a British technological game show, and boy did I love it. It was awesome, airing on a Friday night, and I don't know about you, but it really took me by storm. This was way before I found music or wrestling or anything really. I was 7 and I wanted to be a roboteer. I wanted to build my own robot, go to war with the house robots, show them what for. I mean, the 1998 house robots, not the 2016 reboot house robots who are on steroids for whatever reason. And honestly, it took a good 4 years for that to become a reality. When the Robot Wars game was finally released on PlayStation 2 and Xbox on November 22nd, 2001. Pretty much an early birthday present, as my birthday's on the 23rd of November. Now present in this title and all the menu screens is an announcer, who is pretty awesome and a little repetitive at times, as well as your own personal commentator, who gives a lowdown on each of the levels as they start, mainly discussing the hazards that are present.
They better mind the arena wall flamers, they can be very, very dangerous. The arena flipper comes into play when a robot's immobilised. A bit of extra insult to injury can be flipped around the arena.
Now, this game moves pretty quickly, though not as quick as the other titles that came out later for the PC, which makes it almost perfect. I much prefer this version of the game to the later ones, as all robots have the standard tank controls, again making perfect sense for this game. Now there's 3 cameras to choose from, 2 cinematic and 1 from behind the robot itself. The cinematic camera tends to work best as it shows you which direction your robot is driving, and shows any pitfalls that may be just around the corner. Now, Robot Wars also has a wide range of options present, from professional mode, which puts you up against random robots in a series of events in many different arenas around the world. The first one, where you will end up spending most of your time, is in the arena, known in the English version of Robot Wars. In this arena, we have the English announcer talk to us about the flipper, the chainsaw blades, and the fire that comes sprawling from under the arena itself. If you happen to lose the match, like we tend to do, you are given the chance to watch what happens to your poor robot. In this case, we were pushed into a corner where the house robots just completely destroyed us. It would seem that in this case, that our poor little robot just wasn't as prepared as I originally thought. Free play is what you'd expect. You pick a robot, either from those unlocked as you play through pro mode, or those you've made and just fine. There's Vengeance mode, which mainly focuses on rivalries between memory cards. If you have a friend who wants to face you, you can challenge them for money, parts, or even their own robots, winner takes all. There's Training Ground mode, which is easy enough. You want to test your robots before you jump into pro mode? This is the best place to do it. Now, the main thing about this game that makes it really stand out from other games out there is the Robot Workshop. This allows you to create a new robot from scratch, and in each profile selected at the main menu screen, your money carries over. So this means you can enter one robot into a competition, making a lot of money, and then immediately spend that money on a brand new robot. The downfall of this mode is that you are forced outright to let the announcer finish whatever she's saying, no matter how many times you've heard it. There's tons of options here, from the shop, setup, scrapyard and paints. Now whenever you pick a menu, you get a commenter talk over.
First you will need a body, before you can begin adding other components. Parts are quite expensive here, but you can find cheaper parts in the scrapyard if you're on a tight budget.
And I have no idea who this is, but it may actually be Philippa Forrester, the original backstage interviewer from Robot Wars in 1998. Now there's tons of detail here, talking about different types of wheels, as well as different types of weaponry, from the flamethrower to the flipper to all the different types of chainsaw blade that are on offer. Now of course there are tons more finishing touches that you can add to your robot, a little bit more customization, but no more than sticking a small teddy on top of your robot or changing the paint job. Now the main guts of this game is the fun and exciting Robot Wars battles that take place in each of the arenas that are available. These are just awesome and give a ton of possibilities for you to destroy several enemies at one time. From the pit, tricking or dunking or even dragging your opponents to their doom, or maybe the flamethrowers that were around the arena itself causing damage. Later in the game there are some really crazy arenas that really don't belong in this type of game but still serve as an amazing what-if experience. These range from battling atop a skyscraper with a glass window and fighting it out on an oil rig with a giant drill centerpiece. Again, there are two voices in this game, the commentator and the robot builder advisor. Jonathan Pierce is the commentator in the UK version, of course, as expected. He's the guy from all of the original BBC programmes who has, well, even come back in the 2016 reboot. In between rounds of professional mode, you are given the chance to repair your robot, and are even given a set amount of time. In this stage of the game, we are given 10 minutes to repair our robot. Our low-costing armour only requires a few minutes to repair, and we can even notice that we have time left over, which we can use to repair our weapons as well. If we took a lot of damage on our tyres, or even our drive, we could pick to repair them as well. You literally have 10 minutes, and each piece of weaponry may take 2 to 3 or even 6 to 7 minutes to repair, so you really have to decide what's more important. Do you want to strap on that chainsaw again, or do you want to make sure your tyres keep you moving? This game rocks. I really enjoy the gameplay in this one, and it's totally worth replaying today. Even now, it's 15 years later, after its initial release on the PlayStation 2. This game is awesome, and pretty much the best Robot Wars experience that has ever been released to date.